Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Om Shanti. My name is Elizabeth Padilla, and I'm from San Francisco, California. And I've had the privilege to be serving with the Brahma Kumaris since 1985. And before that, I was a professional actress and singer. I've been trained classically. I always like to underline the classical part of that. And performed professionally for about 10 years. But that wasn't enough. I was good at being other people. But what I wanted to learn was how to be good at being myself. And so I bumped into the Brahma Kumaris, and that began my journey. And here I am today. So a few logistics. I understand that there's Spanish translation at this last aisle, about midway, if anyone needs translation. Also, I would like to know, if I could have the house lights for a moment, how many of you attended either today's program or yesterday's program? Please raise your hand. Okay, great. Now I'd like a show of hands. Who is here at a Brahma Kumari event for the first time? Welcome. Thank you very much. So just to sort of fill you in on what has transpired so far, we have 3 programs, and each program is done in steps. And the first step was to back up, to find stillness, to understand peace of mind, and how we can stabilize peace of mind no matter what the atmosphere or circumstances. And then this morning, we delved in creating a vision for ourselves, for our families, and for the world. And so now, today, in this evening's program, we're going to step out. How can I make my vision a reality? And to help us in that, we have a beautiful art presentation that is called Cosmic Splash. So I would like to welcome Vinay Hegde. Please welcome Vinay Hegde. Vinay is a performing artist, speed painter, sculptor, and animator based in Bangalore. He is a graduate from Vancouver Film School, Canada, with specialization in 3D character modeling and texturing, and has the Jedi Masters from the Lucasfilm Animation in Singapore. Vinay Hegde is currently working as a CG artist and has been a part of many movies with DreamWorks Animation in India and Lucasfilm Animation in Singapore. Vinay Hegde has stretched the boundaries of art by combining his talent with the newest upcoming scientific technology. Some of his latest innovations include glow art, glue art, and cosmic splash. These art forms fuse creativity and fine artistry with technology. Whatever be the medium, his endeavor is always to seek a sense of bliss through his art. So today, Vinay will be presenting Cosmic Splash, a virtual painting on air, a unique blend of art and virtual reality where he does not have a canvas to hold the paint, no brush to create the picture. Watch how technology translates the painter's imagination drawn in thin air.
Lotus, what a beautiful flower. Do you know the significance of lotus? Lotus in the water pond blooms above the mud and dirt in which it grows. That tells me that lotus is symbolic of purity. That is my true innate nature. I have also noticed that drops of water slide off easily from the petals of lotus. So what does that mean for me? I have the power to stay above all the impurity around me, detached and unaffected by the happenings around me. A yogi who is always centered is the master of nature and is aware of his true natural self, that of a soul. Like a yogi, I always have to be set in the experience of soul consciousness. A yogi is aware that the eyes, nose, ears, and mouth are all windows to see, smell, hear, and taste. Our body is composed of 5 elements of matter and is the vehicle for the soul, a star-like point of light. It is situated in the center of the forehead and runs the body just as a driver runs the car. A yogi experiences this. Let us embark on a journey to attain this truth. This is a unique journey that cannot be taken by foot or in a vehicle, but only with our thoughts. Our thoughts are unique in that they have the ability to travel far and wide. Okay, so let us take up this journey beyond the 5 elements. Let us forget the body for a moment and travel with our thoughts to a world where there is an abundance of peace. Let us go to this place that is the home for all souls, and where the souls reside in their original natural nature. And this is where the ocean of peace, the Almighty Incorporeal Father, also resides. The Supreme Father, who is constantly showering us with rays of peace, love, and bliss. This is Paramdham, the incorporeal abode where the Supreme Father resides. Paramatma is showering you with his powerful rays of peace and bliss. You are a yogi, seated on the lotus seat in the middle of the forehead, a star. You're being bathed in the showers of true love by your Supreme Father. Cherish this wonderful experience, O souls. You are under the protective canopy of the Supreme Soul. You are happy and blissful. You are in union with the Supreme Soul and are experiencing his spiritual powers. The vibrations of peace and love are spreading in all directions. The entire universe is empowered with his rays. Look how the globe is sparkling. Look how luminous the globe is. Your energy of meditation has energized the nature. Every atom of the universe is responding peacefully and is being empowered. Everyone is being freed from sorrow. And this is the beginning of a new world. We are all part of this new golden era. Oh, look how peaceful I feel. I am blissful. There is no sorrow, no worries. I am an angel of peace. I am experiencing all the flavors and colors of life. I am a peaceful and powerful soul. I am a soul. I am a soul. Peace is my true nature, my true jewelry. There is just peace all around. I am living in a peaceful world. Om Shanti. Shanti. Shanti.
Vinay Hegde. Thank you, Vinay Hegde. Wow. Now, is that gorgeous or what? A lovely imagery work in the kind of work that we need to do as visionaries and also as those who want to make a difference in the world and in our own personal lives. And so next we have an interview with Charlie Hogg from Australia and our dear brother Brijmohan ji. And I'd like to introduce both of them as they make their way out onto the stage. Now, Charlie has been on a committed spiritual path for over 40 years. He is a senior teacher of the Brahma Kumaris and travels extensively, visiting more than 80 countries as a speaker at international conferences, public programs, and spiritual retreats. And he flew here especially to be here with us from the Philippines, and then he flies out tonight. So thank you, Brother Charlie. He was... Is that me? I will step in. So Charlie became one of the first teachers with the Brahma Kumaris in Australia since 1975. Brother Brijmohan ji is the additional Secretary General of the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University of Mount Abu. He is also the Secretary of the Brahma Kumaris Educational Society and Secretary of Raj Yoga Education and Research Foundation. He's the chairperson of the Politicians Service Wing. He is the editor of the Brahma Kumaris monthly magazine, Purity. Please welcome Brother Brijmohan Bhai. Om Shanti.
So thank you so much, Elizabeth. And I would also like to extend my very warm and loving welcome to Brother Brijmohan, who is sitting beside me. And in fact, he is really the inspiration behind this event. So let's give him a real special welcome. And I have actually known him for over 40 years, and I can only say he's an absolutely extraordinary person, because whatever he puts his mind to, he can do. And he's a yogi, a teacher, a writer, an editor, a philosopher, an administrator. He's a qualified chartered accountant. And along with all of that, he has a wonderful sense of humor. And is a very humble person, so someone who has been guiding the Brahma Kumaris for 60 years. And this is now our third session, and many of us have attended all the sessions, and I wanted to ask him, our theme was a future vision for a world in transition. And all of us read constantly politicians, scientists, business leaders telling us this world is going through dramatic change. But we all feel it. And we feel the change is even becoming faster and faster, exponential change. I'm just wondering, Brijmohan, how to manage this huge change that we are seeing in this world. How would you advise everyone here how to prepare? What do we need to do?
Om Shanti. Welcome to all of you. I am very happy that you have given me this opportunity to interact with my brothers and sisters. Now the whole object of this particular international conference, which has brought together Raj Yogis from all over the world to share their lifelong experiences in a little time by the process of more of silent communication, meditation. So all of us who have attended all the previous sessions, we know that it is all about transformation. Now coming to the question, everything, good or bad, begins, then it has to attain its climax, and then there has to be a change. Taking simple example of the moon. Now you see the moon starts from a crescent and slowly becomes full moon. And only after that, the other process starts. This applies to everything, good things, bad things. We all know that the times we are passing through are not good times. But these bad times also have to reach its climax and limit. And there is bound to be transformation because everything goes there, has been going that way. Everything is created new. By usage, it slowly becomes old, then it becomes very old, and then it has to be renewed, so to say. So now, all of us, the whole world, especially the intellectual people who are updated with the media news, they know that day by day, we are going closer to a point when there has to be complete transformation. Because from night to day, there does not brook any darkness. So therefore it has to be total transformation. Oh, sorry.
This may be one of the transformations also.
Yes, there will be no this in the next world, coming world. Because from real personal communication, we have got into too much of communication. And now there is, of course, virtual communication, as we saw in the last show, which tells us that we have to be only believing in the perfect and trying to ignore or wish away the imperfect. If you will have a real rose flower, it will bloom for a particular time, then naturally, slowly it will finally wither. But here in virtual reality, you can always see a fresh flower, as if it has to remain like that. And person gets lost into the dream that perhaps this will apply to everyone. But you know, dreams are just dreams. So the same way, this point of our transformation, now what will change? When we say total transformation, it will mean that all that has reached the fourth stage of cancer, or something which is extremely incurable and rotten, it has to be totally changed. So what people normally think is, they think in terms of the body, the world, the civilizations, and all our other means. In fact, yes, those will change, but they are all our acquisitions and resources. The being does not die. The being is eternal. Around the being, all those things which have got the virus, which is causing us all peacelessness, and day by day it is growing. We are moving faster in the wrong direction. So that everything has to be changed, so we have to change outer world so that the being also can be changed, because it comes in contact with all physical things. As soon as we come in this body, we come in contact with first the body and physical thing. So when this physical has to be changed, by the process of seeing, they were never imagining that this would happen. One way that way, and the other is through awareness of the being, which is actually the root of all negativity and our wrong thinking. So to say, dirty minds. So that has to be removed. So this is coming.
Yes, thank you. All the research shows that anxiety, which is often described as a fear of the future, is rising dramatically. People feel very uncertain about the future. What would you say to all of us here, how to manage that? What should I be doing now so that this anxiety about what may happen in our very uncertain and unpredictable world that you were describing, what do I need to do for myself?
Yes. So our main topic has been stability. In such times, we can foresee that everything will be shaking. So what can be stable is the being. The being does not die. The being can bear everything around if being knows that I will get these things back again. Just as suppose I am transferred from here to your country permanently. So what I will do, I will give up everything here, turn into some currency. But I know that when I go there, I will again get it. So when one has the awareness and understanding that I am not going to finish, all these things are going transformation for the better. Because all of us are actually not happy, because we want to give up, say, bad habits like anger or anxiety. So there has to be something which should remove that. And the first is the understanding and knowledge that times change and time moves forwards. This is very important. If it is night now, the next option will be only the day, moves forward. So when we are in the worst of times, the transformation is going to be definitely for the best. But if a person is materialistic, physical, body conscious, and thinks in terms of destruction, that all those things are destroyed, then I lose everything, then the thinking will go wrong. The Brahma Kumaris, the message we are giving is, first of all, we are beings. And this is the original spiritual message of the God of Gita also. In the beginning of the Gita itself, God has emphasized that you are a soul, you are eternal, you are immortal, soul cannot be destroyed, it cannot be burnt in fire, and so on. So that understanding we have to live. And I am very happy that the programs that our brothers and sisters from abroad have come, They have not only given theoretical understanding, but also given us the experience. Even for a few moments, if one can experience that I am a being separate from this body, I have acquired this, I am using it, finally I have to shed it. We all know it, but we don't live it. Because we do not know what is ahead. So therefore, all our attachment and things are such that we don't want to leave this, although it may be not in good shape. So when you know you are going to get some better, so you are prepared to leave this and use it to the best. So that is the thing. Basic thing is stability is only possible if I identify myself as the being and live in that consciousness. And for that, this meditation is the medium.
You were just talking about experience in meditation, and I think most of the people sitting in this auditorium are here because we see the benefits of meditation. But how do I really learn how to sit and create an experience in my mind? Sometimes we just feel we think. We sit there and we think positive thoughts, that makes me feel better. But how to really go to the next step to really have an experience of my true self and God in meditation?
Sometimes, you know, when we live an abnormal life for a long time, for us, the abnormal becomes the norm. See, a person is smoking. He starts his casually, but then when he becomes an addicted smoker, for him to do anything, even a doctor performing operation who is a smoker, he will first go out and smoke so many cigarettes, then feel normal to act. So what has happened is that we have been thinking and living lives as bodies. That something is functioning through the body for all practical purposes, our joys, happiness, sights, scenes, sounds, we use the body. And we have started thinking, I am the body. So to shift from that to my real being, the soul, who is using this body, this meditation comes. So first of all, there has to be understanding. Then also the understanding, this is the normal. Abnormal, then we will see the difference. You know, if a person gets a thorn in the foot, it takes some pain to take it out. So he won't like it to be removed, normally also. So the same way, all of us, even for few moments when we really experience the being as separate, and then by detaching from the body temporarily, first of all, soul consciousness, that I am the soul. Then your original qualities of soul will be seen, just as in darkness you see light. So once you see and experience those original qualities, that a little bit of separation gives me peace. It removes the fear of losing the body and other things. And then I go further. So for that, first, originally one has to sit. In the best hours of the morning when the day starts, everything is settled of the previous day. So we sit and get that experience, and empowered by that, we work in the day. But we are likely to lose this experience because there is a long burden of the other side. So slowly and slowly, as we start feeling the benefits, we will ourselves, like, you know, everybody wants to regain our powers. And for that, in the Brahma Kumaris, the most important thing is that the impurities or the dirt which has accumulated on the soul, or for functional purposes, let us say the mind, cannot be removed by any other way. It's a spiritual entity. The dirt is also spiritual. It has to be removed by a spiritual process, which is called meditation or yoga. And for that, only in the Brahma Kumaris, we connect with the Supreme Soul. The yoga or meditation, the basic difference is, first of all, we identify as souls because only the soul can connect with the Supreme Soul. Then the Supreme Soul, being the ocean and resource, real unending source of our original qualities, when we connect properly, then we get Father's help. And that makes it easy for us, because then we are only like children, depending for everything on Father. We connect with the Father, so that gives us a compass. So we won't go wrong. As soon as we want to, or our mind wants to go that way, we will, consciousness will say, no, this is wrong, like that.
Thank you, Brijmohan. One just last question. What would you like to see everyone who's attended this conference take away with them? What would you like to see the benefits of being a part of this gathering? What would you like to see them take home with them to practice in their lives?
They have heard and experienced from many souls. They have a lot of takeaway. But as you have asked, I will say that everything of ours, weaknesses, strengths, joys, happinesses, are recorded in the mind. Okay. Now we have to be very careful that whatever good we collect, keep in the mind, it doesn't get spoiled, polluted, adulterated by the other side of the things. So it is very difficult for everyone to do every time something happens. You know, we say, for example, think before you speak. Now a person cannot naturally wait and start thinking before speaking. It has to be a natural thing. Same way, the best thing is, they say, forewarned is forearmed. And awareness and attention can help a lot in avoiding wrong things to enter in, undesirable things to enter the mind. For that, there is only one simple formula we try, we practice and tell others, and that is very simple. Be a well-wisher of all. It's a positive thought. Because if I become a well-wisher of all, first of all, I become well-wisher for myself. And you know, ocean cannot be set on fire. Similarly, all types of other people who may not be wishing well of me, first of all, I am protected against that. And as my well-wishing thought becomes powerful, it will definitely help create an atmosphere also. So if you want me to say that takeaway, if all of us just keep in mind that I have, irrespective of anything going on, what others do about me, I am a well-wisher of all, definitely my mind become healthy, and it will be refusing any impurities to enter, and slowly the dirt and dirty habits and all, like anger, all this will go. If sweetness costs nothing, anger also costs nothing, but how much loss it causes to the self and others. So once I start experiencing that sweetness, that at no cost my life has become sweet, I will go further also. So being a well-wisher of all. Om Shanti.
So thank you so much, Brijmohan Bhai, for all you've put into this conference. And also, I think that's a beautiful gift for all of us, isn't it? To take away the feelings of having good wishes, to be a well-wisher for everybody. So thank you, everyone. Much appreciated. And thank you especially to Brijmohan Bhai. Thank you.
Thanks to everyone. Om Shanti.
We would also like to present you with some flowers, and I'd like to ask our Asha Didi from the Om Shanti Retreat Center to please come up and present these loving-filled flowers to our Brijmohan Bhai and to Charlie Bhai, who's going to be leaving soon.
He came all the way.
He came all the way.
And especially for this program, so all of us, on behalf of everyone, I thank you.
So Asha Didi is presenting flowers to our brother Charlie. with lots of love and yoga power, and to our brother Brijmohan ji. And we also have flowers for our brother Ken O'Donnell, whom you may have seen today and yesterday. And Ken is Director of South America. Thank you. And also, I would like to recognize some dignitaries that are in the audience. Mr. Sanjeev Patoshi, or Pat Joshi, Joint Secretary to the Government of India, Mr. Sanjeev Pat Joshi. Please stand. Oh, there you are. So sorry. And so we have Sister Da from Thailand presenting you with loving flowers. And also we have Mr. Dave Prasad. Mr. Dave Prasad, yes, the High Commissioner of Trinidad and Tobago to India. And Mrs. Prasad, is she here? Okay. And so we have some flowers for you.
I give you.
And this is Laima from Italy. Thank you, Mr. Dave Prasad, for all your service. So these are little acts of love. And if I may, I'd like to sing you a song about love. Would that be all right? So I'll switch my hats here. And this song is called There's Only Love. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes to see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, then I go inside and quiet my mind. I can hear the Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. Only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Thank you. And now we have a wonderful interview planned for you so you can get to know some of us from other countries. And the interviewer is Neville Hodgkinson, and he's a science journalist based in Oxford, England. And his full-time positions have included social policy correspondent of the Times, medical and science correspondent of the Daily Mail, health editor of the Sunday Express, and medical and science correspondent of the Sunday Times. And then with him is Golo Pilz, a German-born but now Indian citizen, is that right? His heart is with India, but he's lived here for 20 years or some more than that. And Sonia Olsen from Denmark. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and thanks to all of you for being here in this wonderful session. I enjoyed so much the interview that Charlie did with Brother Brijmohan, and this tip that he gave at the end about maintaining good wishes for all is such a powerful one. And the two people that I'm going to interview now, as well as maintaining good wishes for other people, they have actually specialized for a good number of years in maintaining good wishes for this struggling planet that we have. They've been doing an amazing job, and people sometimes think that meditation, spirituality, means putting your head in the clouds and not being that connected with everyday reality. Well, Sonia and Golo are very clear examples that that's a wrong idea. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about their achievements because it's very relevant to their contribution tonight. Golo, he lives at our headquarters in Mount Abu. He started 20 years ago with research and development of renewable energies, and he made the institution one of the largest users of solar power in India. He recently completed India 1, a 1 megawatt solar thermal power station, a research project partly sponsored by the Indian and German governments. Golo is also actively engaged in the Brahma Kumaris environmental initiative, and he participated and lectured since the last 10 years at all the UN climate conferences. And he regularly tours the world speaking on climate change, renewable energies, and lifestyle change. And Sonia, too, from a different background but equally committed, she is the national coordinator of Brahma Kumaris in Denmark, a meditation teacher with the prison service in Copenhagen. But in 2009, so nearly 10 years back, she helped develop, she was the main developer of the Brahma Kumaris Environment Initiative. And the aim was to meet the need for a higher environmental awareness within the international BK community, and also to add the inner dimension to discussions at the UN climate change conferences. Sonia lectures internationally on the link between spirituality and sustainability, and she coordinates BK activities in many climate change conferences. So an enormous wealth of experience in thinking about the planet and its needs. Now, one of the things that I would like to ask Golo first of all is, in the light of what we heard about the struggling state of the planet, and also Brijmohan was speaking of the need to accept that sometimes something grows old and the over-identification with the aging aspect means that we fight letting go of it, and yet actually a time comes where you have to accept that something new is going to replace the old. So how does that fit in with the work that you're doing, with the envisioning and the consciousness change that you are bringing to these climate change events?
Yeah, thanks, Neville, very much for the interesting question, and good afternoon to everybody. Indeed, the world is in a very sorrowful state. I was 3 months ago in Bonn at the last climate conference, United Nations Climate Conference, and there was a press conference titled 10 Things You Should Know About Climate Change. And the news by scientists, it was the latest research work is not very good. At the moment in Europe we have ice, and here also we suddenly had a little bit of a dust storm. We can see weather is changing very fast, and the outlook is not very good, and many people are frustrated and desperate and think, what can we do, how I can position myself seeing all these problems. Humans have the capacity to destroy things. That's the bad news, but the good news is we have also an incredible capacity to create things. We're all creators. We can plant trees, we can change our lifestyle to the better, we can build solar systems, we can reduce our water consumption, but we can also plant trees of hope in our mind and our consciousness. And in Indian tradition, it is very well known that the mind creates the reality and has a profound effect what is going on outside. And interestingly now, science, with its latest research, is pointing in this direction that through a change of mind, I can do actually wonders in the world, and I can become a healer of the world. But as many other speakers have said before, I have to heal myself first, and then I can reach out and start healing the planet. And we all join hands, and then it becomes a very easy task.
It must have taken a lot of personal strength and growth, I guess, to see through a project like the Solar One, bringing together resources from different countries, persuading people in the organization of the value of a project like that. Did you grow personally in the course of doing this? Because you made the impossible possible in many ways, one would think.
Well, I came the first time to India in 1985. I landed here at Indira Gandhi Airport, and the arrival was in a tin shed, and we had to select our luggage from somewhere. And I went third class with steam engine to Mount Abu, and in Mount Abu was no fax machine, there was no communication, and India was in a different world, and I came from Germany where everything functions and works, and I had indeed a sort of a shock when I came to India, and I had to adapt myself quite dramatically, and I had to learn patience, humility, and patience and humility for 20 years. And slowly, slowly, of course, in the wake of the process, I changed my personality because I had to Indianize myself. And one of the first things I learned was the head shake. And when I go back to Germany, then people ask me, why you are shaking your head like that? And then I'm confused because I have adapted to the Indian customs, and now I'm more seeing the world and the work from an Indian perspective. And indeed, working 20 years on project with the government, raising funds. We raised for India more than 65 crores from the German and Indian government, made me come many times to Delhi and here to the ministry. And I had many wonderful encounters and experience, and I could use all the qualities and values which I learned in meditation to deal with different circumstances in order to get the funds, look in technology, in the team, in myself, and keep myself happy and enthusiastic, because it was very challenging.
So how did meditation help you to develop, in a nutshell, how did meditation give you the strength to do these things?
Well, we have an early morning meditation, and I found it extremely helpful in the morning meditation when I visualize, I create in my mind what I would like to achieve in the day. And I visualize that this project is being complete and is already done. And I say myself, I'm just an instrument. It's not on my shoulders to raise the money or to get the technology done. So this method in the morning, in the early morning, to create the project in your mind and radiate it out into the future has a very, very profound effect. Because whatever we think, if we think it powerful and regular, we create it. And that's one of the secrets of spirituality.
Yeah, thank you. Sonia, I'd love to know what brought you personally. Yes, it was great, wasn't it? What brought you personally into this work of trying to change the relationship between people and the planet?
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Nice to be here and see the beautiful scene from this angle. What brought me to the environment field? On the practical level, there was a big climate change conference coming to Copenhagen in 2009. And as I'm based in Copenhagen and running the meditation center there, I thought that it would be natural that Brahma Kumaris was going to be part of the big civil society and the movement around this political conference. So we got a team together and we started the Brahma Kumaris Environment Initiative. And of course, when we started this, there were some people who were saying we are a spiritual organization, we don't have an environmental focus, so we should not go this way. But then we agreed that we use a very simple principle, that we start where we're at and we move forward. So we will always be a spiritual organization, and we start there, and we move forward to embrace environmental matters with transparency. And then we made the process to move to eco-friendly meditation centers, to have a green policy, to do statements and printing and material. We were very transparent in that process and brought our friends with us. So it became a very natural part. But if you want the secret why this ended in my lab, I think about 1 or 2 years before the environment conference came to Copenhagen, I started to be very loving to all situations and to myself. And I think the spiritual, that kind of practice brought this beautiful work in my lab.
That's very interesting. It connects with the 3 steps that this conference and its 3 stages has been going through. First of all, going inside, seeing what's there, strengthening, emerging something of beauty, and then bringing that out. Yes. That's been the basis on which the Environment Initiative is working too, that yes. You're not going to get angry and upset about it. You're going to bring a positive energy into this work. You see, we thought we can't only participate in a conference because it looks good in our profile. We have to do the same campaign within our own organization. And, you know, to do a big campaign in an organization with 7,000 centers, it's not a small task. But it's necessary. And now, 10 years later, I can say that we can commit to more renewable energy. We can commit to having environment as part as our retreats, programs, topics. And we have green angels in many of our centers who help the centers. Golo, can I come back to you? With this work on India 1 nearly completed, and that's been absolutely central to your life for so many years, what are you going to move on to next?
It's a very interesting question. Our title is A World in Transition, but I'm also in transition. And everything is changing very fast, and I feel it's for all of us a time to take stock. What is the situation and where I am right now? What I would like to achieve in life, and how can I move forward in that direction in the best way? And my dream is always that I reach in my meditation that level where I have a very visible impact into the physical reality. And I like very much this artwork which was on display here, where you could see the yogis and the rays. And I focus more on meditation, and sometimes I have this practical experience that I sit in meditation and light is emanating from my forehead, and I'm sending it into the world. I send it to the desperate people which are in bad circumstances, but I send it also to nature, which is polluted, which is in trouble. I send it to the animals, which are suffering in many areas. I send it to the whole universe. And I can feel how that perspective puts me on a different level of activity and understanding. And that's personally where I'm sort of focusing more and trying to go in that direction, because I feel the world needs now healing thoughts and healing attitude. And this is our magic, which we all have and which is all part of us. And I like to bring that out more in my personal spiritual efforts. And now I'm reaching 60 years, so it's time for me to bring younger generation in, let them do the solar and the renewable energy work, and let me maybe focus a bit more on my spiritual efforts.
Fantastic. And Sonia, Sonia, there was an element that I remember hearing about you, must have been a seed that was sown maybe some years back, where your mother, reading about the state of the world, seeing the newspapers, all the things that were happening, was just in tears. Is that right?
My mom is, she's living on the countryside in Sweden, and she's now 84 years old. And she lives alone there in the house, and she watches the news, and all these terrible floods and storms and wars. It used to make her very, very upset, and she used to call me and cry and say, Sonia, what can I do? I can't do anything. So she turned off the television, but then she isolated herself. So we often feel that hopeless and powerless when there is no method we can use. I run out of solutions, I don't have any methods. So we started to talk about the power of thought. That actually the earth have enough of fear and anxiety and worry.
You started talking about that with your mum?
Yes, and I said to her, the earth now needs love, care and compassion, and your thoughts matter. Even if you're 1 out of 7.5 billion people, your thoughts still count. So we used to have a practice of sending these good wishes to the earth. And she used to like that, because then she feels she can do something. Mm-hmm. And when you feel you can do something, you feel enthusiastic. And then she started to sort her garbage, and she started to buy eco-friendly cleaning products and, things like this.
Do you think those here and the thousands listening online might be able to contribute to healing the planet in a similar way?
Our thoughts matter. Everything I think will either go to prolong this age of suffering, or it will go to create the new world. And every time everyone in this room spend a penny, we make a choice. I can buy an eco-friendly cleaning product, or I can buy a cleaning product full of chemicals. I can buy clothes made by child labor, or I can buy a bit more expensive clothes which have reliable resources. Every penny is a choice we make. And of course, the market will follow the buyer, the consumer. So we can change very quickly. The individual and the power of thought is so strong.
Thank you so much. I think we're going to close this conversation with a little exercise where you show us what the green angels do. Is that right? And a green angel leads a meditative, healing vibration for the world.
Yes, we are all angels, but before we become angels, we also have to become humans. And as humans, we have to pay respect to all living creatures, all living beings. Life is sacred. So we will do a green angel meditation together, okay? So in respect for Mother Earth and in respect for the air we breathe, for the water we drink, for the food we eat, I'll ask you to stand up. And we can have some music. And we'll do a standing meditation for Mother Earth. And we start by taking a deep breath, breathing the oxygen that the earth provides. And you stay stable on the ground, on the planet. And I ask you to visualize the earth in front of you. You can see the forest, the ocean, the animals and the plants. And we can awaken our angel wings of compassion and care and embrace Mother Earth. With our angel wings of care and compassion, we hold the planet steady, and we heal the pain with love and mercy. And then I'll ask you to hold the planet in your hands, in both your hands. And you hold the planet gently in your hands. And whilst holding the planet in your hands, we connect to the Creator with our mind. I connect to the divine. And I let the divine energy flow through me to Mother Earth in my hands. I let the energy from the divine flow through me to Mother Earth in my hands. And with these pure vibrations, we can restore harmony and beauty. And we can heal the pain. Take a deep breath, and I gently let go. And we come back. And when we sit down gently. And when we walk gently. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Sonia, for that beautiful meditation. And thank you, Golo, for your patience and humility, and your patience and your humility. And for Neville, for his sincere curiosity. It makes you think a little, doesn't it? How qualities can inspire us to make a difference in the world. And so now I would like to take this time for us to think a little bit about our own personal lives and how we've made a difference in our lives, maybe to ourselves, to someone else. So why don't we close our eyes for a moment? If you could do that, just think for a moment a time in your life where you were inspired to rise to the occasion and maybe help a child or help someone you didn't even know, or stand up and speak out in front of a group of people about something you felt passionately about. Can you think of something where you felt inspired to make a difference? Do you have that in mind? So what I'd like to invite you to do is to think about 3 qualities that you were expressing. I can remember when my little brother, my father was giving him a spanking because he was naughty. And I remember I couldn't tolerate my brother being spanked, and so I ran up to my father and I said, and I'm 11 years old, okay? And I had the courage and the passion and the love to tell my father, I don't believe in this. And from that day on, my father never touched the children. I'm the oldest of 7. So these are just small moments, and they could be in your own family. And I'd like you to just think about that moment and identify 3 qualities. And I said love, courage, and a passion. So can you think of what 3 qualities that inspired you in that moment? And I've heard some heroic stories that people rose to the occasion. And we have someone here tonight that did an amazing thing, a courageous thing, and what that took to face all odds and also to, do something for the environment. So I'd like you to turn to your neighbor and share that story briefly in 1 minute. So I'll give you each a minute, so that's 2 minutes. And if you could just turn to your neighbor and just share that story, or perhaps those 3 qualities. So just like I did, quickly, I just shared a story at the top of my head and 3 qualities. So you've got 2 minutes. So please turn to your neighbor and just share a story, perhaps someone you don't know very well, and get to know someone here in the audience. Okay, ready? Get set? Go. Go ahead, turn to your neighbor, share a story. You can just tell the 3 qualities that inspired you in that moment. Yeah? It's really good to remember a time where you stood up and did something. You were inspired to make a difference. And just identify those 3 qualities that came up for you. Because whatever we've used in the past, I can use it now. And also envision using those qualities in the future. Okay? All right. So now I'd like you to call out a quality that stood out for you. Just from the audience, from where you are, name in one word one of the qualities that stood up for you in your story. Yes. Yeah, go ahead. Compassion. What else? Yes. Courage. Yes. Soul consciousness. What's that? Smile? Why not? Change. Patience. Self-respect. What's that? Inspiration. Love. What's that? Self-esteem. Justice. Mercy. Humanity. Thank you. Wonderful. Give yourself a round of applause. And now, I'd like to introduce to you a dancer from Brazil. And her name is Goretti Dunningham. And she's a journalist and a fashion designer. She's editor of Line magazine and is the director of the Brahma Kumaris of Salvador, Brazil. She's also responsible for creating and designing cultural programs and exhibitions. And she's a beautiful dancer. She designed her own costume. So please welcome Goretti Dunningham. Thank you, Goretti Dunningham from Salvador, Brazil. And now I'd like to introduce to you Brother Ken O'Donnell, who's going to guide us through some steps on how we can emerge and free ourselves by following our own instincts, delving into our own transformational process. Ken O'Donnell is currently the director of the South Americas of the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University. He's also author of 15 books on personal and organizational development, and some of them are published in 9 languages. But above all, he's a dynamic, stimulating speaker, widely experienced consultant, and his strength is in questioning common assumptions, and especially in difficult situations. Ken O'Donnell.
Good evening, everyone. Om Shanti. What I'm going to do tonight is to share with you some thoughts, but I'll speak for around about a minute or a little bit more, and then we'll stop for 30 seconds to reflect. One of the titles of the conference is, Are You Tired of Talk? So, though I've got 15 minutes to talk, I don't want to use it all up talking. You see here a hurricane. Now, in the middle of it, there's the eye of the hurricane. The winds around that black hole in the middle are about 200, 300 kilometers per hour sometimes. But in the eye of the hurricane, it's only 25 kilometers per hour. So it's very, very much smoother, right? And in fact, our lives, internally and externally, we've got 2 options: to be carried by the winds of the circumstances, or to adopt a position in which we can understand things. You know, we look at, you know, the environment that we're just talking about it. What do I do about my inner environment? Because all of these things that are happening in the world are somehow connected with us. I mean, who here harms the environment in some way? Hand up. Do you have a car? Do you use a car? Use gas? Yeah? So a lot of the products that we use harm the environment, but in fact, the worst pollution is in here, right? So let's stop for a minute and let's create at least a clean world inside of us, yeah? And that will probably be the best contribution we can make to the environment. So let's stop for 30 seconds. Okay? You're sitting on your seat. Just go within. Just imagine all of the smog and all of the confusion and all of the clouds are just going away. And there you are sitting very nicely on your own inner seat. Now, this is a picture from your parliament. I don't know if it's all the time friendly. If it's like Brazil, they fight a lot. Even sometimes pick up chairs and put them on people's heads. But you know, the reason why we have people out of control and supposedly in control of our countries is because we are also not in control of ourselves. So in here there's also a seat, not say political power, but certainly me reigning over my life. So again, let's stop for 30 seconds. Sit here. This is the real seat of inner power. And just be calm. We have to reclaim our self-sovereignty. The reason we don't have real sovereignty in the world is because practically you don't find anyone who can rule themselves. So, who's in command? You or the things? Think about it. You know, we've also got can you click on the yeah? Click. Not working. Ah, there we are. So let's go back a bit. You know, ups and downs here too. The economy. The reason why the economy is also out of control is that we've also forgotten to be economical. You know, economy, what it really means? Eco means house. Economy is governing our house, managing our house. So what's the first house that I have to manage? This one. So for a few more seconds, just go back in that seat, sit there, okay. This is my first house, and maybe the body is the second house. The third house is my house, right, where I live. The fourth house maybe is our city or our town. And then we have the house of the country, the house of the world. But I have to start managing the first house. Got it? Next one. This is a picture of from China. Can you imagine? Our lives have become crazy, you know. I think I've gone on the highway from Delhi to our ORC so many times, and every time I'm a little bit afraid. But the traffic here is quite interesting, you know. I think the only rule that you have here in the traffic is whoever gets there first. But you know, I have to organize myself in order to live in a community, right? I have to help the community. And probably one of the reasons why we have such chaos is that everyone's just looking after their own nose, right? Looking after their own little lives and their own little works and their own little things. And they forget to help the bigger picture. So just sit on that seat and send out some good vibes to the community. Yeah? We can help that. And then maybe you've got complicated relationships. At least one, I think. Everyone has at least one difficult person, right? Do you have? Maybe two on your radar, so that when the radar is going, beep, 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 then it goes on. And oh, this is my difficult person. But in fact, people are not difficult. They're just different. Maybe I want people to be like me. And that's a bit egoistic, isn't it? Why are you not like me? Why do you not understand the way I understand? I don't understand why you don't understand how I understand. Not possible. You know, like, relationships depend on me also. If I stop having expectations and stop wanting people to be different from what they are, maybe I'll be able to get along with them better. So I have to be at peace with myself, and then I can be harmonious with other people. Think about it. Maybe that's you. It wasn't always like that. And you know what makes us tired? It's not our physical activity, it's our thinking. We think too much. What do you think the proportion of our useless thinking is? How much of our thinking is actually productive? You know what? They say it's around 95% useless. 97% of the time that we're worried about something, we're wasting our time because 97% of the things that we worry about never happen. So why would I spend 3% of my time, why would I spend 97% of my time just excess thinking? Now, to stop, to think less and to think better, and that's the aim, I have to go inside and start to choose my thoughts. Right? Think about it. I can do it. I'm not obliged to, just in the way that you're not obliged to eat food that's put in front of you, we don't have to eat the thoughts that come to us. Not that, not that, not that. I can do it, right? Can you do it? Okay, next one. What can I do, actually? What I can do, maybe, first thing I can do is to be a detached observer. That means to go back several steps and see more. If I see more, I will understand better, and I will also be able to make better decisions. Just sit back from your life. Look at all of the ingredients that are there. Past, present, future. What's happened, what's happening, what's going to happen. The different influences. And if you step back a few paces and see the whole thing, you'll understand it better. If your nose is stuck to it, you won't see it. Second step. You've probably heard this a lot today and yesterday. The best contribution you can make to the world is to be soul conscious. Be aware that you are the soul, giving life to your body, and through that giving life to your activities. We can do it. Just go back here. Consider your eternal nature. You'll conquer fear of death. And you'll understand other people because they are also souls, right? We have a lot in common with everyone. We have the same original home, the same original state. So the person in front of me is not my son or my daughter-in-law or my father. He's my brother soul. That's a basic relationship that we have to cultivate. Got it? This one, probably the main one. Connect with the spiritual powerhouse and become a transmitter of that energy here in this world. Best contribution you can make. Number one. Imagine the quality of the energy you can bring into the world, into your interactions with others, into your relationships. Bring it down, put it out. Got it? Feel it? Live it? Next one. We're living in a sort of a small percentage of our real potential. And we're sort of reduced, There I am, trying to do everything with a little. If I can expand that. In fact, the size of my real potential is the same size as my happiness. Then it will spread out. So we have to live that potential, not just try to get by with 2% of ourselves. It's not enough. Feel it? We can do much more than we think we can. Number 5. We're trying to look at the world through a keyhole, right? That's why we don't understand each other. I'm explaining something to someone and they say, why don't you understand? They say, but I don't understand. I'm not seeing it at all. Of course they will see something different. But if I open the door and the other one opens the door and everything is clear, there's nothing to fight about. We only think because we want to clarify things. We only speak because we want to clarify things. We only do things to make our lives better. How come we get so messed up? You know why? Got to open the door. You know, on the other side of the door, there's a whole universe. Our world, this universe, and the worlds beyond here, the Paramdam, the Supreme, everything. If I see that, wow. What a door. Next one. Introduce pauses into your life. Pause. Most of our pause buttons are broken, right? We do and do and do and do and do and do and then collapse into the bed at night. Someone has to come along with a scraper to get us out of bed the next day. And we get into the same old ba, da, da, da. Pause. If you do that for 1 minute every hour, the other 59 minutes will be fantastic. If you don't, you'll get lost in the consequences of your own acts. So think about it. Pause. Can you do it? Can you make time for a pause in your lives? Yeah? Good. Next one. Pure vision. Don't see defects. See, when you see defects, they're just messing around with your own defects. If you didn't have the defects, you wouldn't see them in others. So if you want someone to change, the worst thing you can do is to keep on thinking about their defects. He's like that, she's like that, he's like that, she's like that. No. What virtues do they have? What virtues do I have? Harmony is between virtues, never between defects. Like my arrogance and your fear, let's try to make that work. And we pretend that that's harmony. It's not. See others in a pure way. Clean the vision. Best thing you can do. Isn't it? Isn't it? Oh, 2 more. This is a big one. Grow your life. What does a plant need? Tell me. Water, but needs soil. What else? Sun. What else? Air. Actually, all of the 5 elements. People are like plants, so we have to cultivate relationships. Looks like children. Children need healthy growing condition, that's it. The people that work with us need healthy growing conditions. We need healthy growing conditions. And that's it. If I'm providing the best growing conditions, then, you know, people will grow. I can't stand in front of the plant saying, grow, grow, you imbecile, grow. Won't happen. I have to plant it. I have to feed it. I have to water it. Love, knowledge, values, things will grow. That's the big lesson, the big contribution. Be an agriculturalist, right? Be a farmer of good. Last one. You hold the brush. Our future is spreading out in front of us, not automatically, not sort of spontaneously, not randomly. Everything that happens in front of me, I'm holding the brush. I'm making it happen, whether I want it or not. If you have positive thoughts, what's the direction of your life? Tell me. Positive. If you've got negative thoughts, generally, what's the direction of your life? If you don't have any thoughts at all, what's the direction of your life? Don't get anywhere. You know, the type of meditation that makes the mind blank. Great holiday, but doesn't exactly create the future. Think, speak, and act in such a way that your future welcomes you with a big embrace. Our future form, it already exists, waiting there to greet us. Think about it. And if you want to, you know, get out of the hurricane, really, the best place to spend your time and energy and thought is here. So let's just finish off with some thoughts. Sit nobly on your seats, no slouching, not too comfortable and not too relaxed. In the same way you're sitting on your seat, remember the seat of the soul behind the eyes. The middle of the forehead. Be the soul. Be yourself. Be your true self. This tiny point of conscious energy radiating peace, love, happiness, purity, truth. See the connection with the body. See how that energy actually goes into every cell of your body. Now remember the home, that world of golden red light. And remember the one who you've always been trying to remember, who we've always been looking for. Remember that one. And let the love come for that one who is not just the source of spiritual power, but also the lovely father, the lovely mother, the loving teacher, the teacher of all teachers actually, the guru of all gurus. Paramatma. And just feel close and keep that closeness for a few more moments. It's like the great stabilizing factor of our lives is that connection. So let's come back. Open our eyes a bit more and thank God. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Brother Ken O'Donnell. Wow, does that open up your mind a bit? Some new perspectives on ourselves, rather than seeing life and myself through a small little keyhole. So I'd like to ask you a question. I certainly hope that these events that we've had since yesterday and today, that you've maybe set out a new plan for yourself, perhaps mentally, or maybe you even have an idea of what difference you'd like to make in your life. Do you have any idea? Are you inspired to make a difference in your life? Yes? I'd like to know what that might be. If maybe you could tell me in one sentence. Could I come out into the audience and maybe someone could give, who would like to share in one sentence a difference that you would like to make either in your life or in your community or for the world? What step do you want to do starting now? Thank you. Be kind to others and also be kind to, yeah. Good, okay, we get it. Someone raised their hand? Okay.
Breaking the subtle boundaries inside our mind.
Breaking the subtle boundaries. And your name?
Sneha.
Sneha, thank you. Somebody new who hasn't had a chance.
Search happiness in others for your happiness.
Search happiness in others for your happiness. And your name, sir?
Dr. Prasanna.
Doctor, thank you. And someone over here? Yes, sir. What difference do you want to make?
Be positive always.
You strike me as someone who already is. How do you want to make that more powerful for yourself?
I want to be positive. Sardana.
Thank you, Sardana. And yes, please, what would you like to do?
Actually, I wanted to make my weakness as my strong point.
Oh, you want to make your weakness as your strong point. Brilliant, brilliant. And your name?
Prashant Sharma.
Give a hand to Prashant. Okay, and over here. Yes, I saw you. What difference would you like to make? Your name?
My name is Shalu, and I'll start loving myself more than anyone else first.
Start loving myself more than anyone else first. Good, good. Yes. Your name, please.
I'm Suman. I just want to spread positive vibrations all over.
Spread positive vibrations all over and over here. Yes. Yes. Please. Your name?
Raghunandan. Yeah. An extended sense of belonging towards all around me that will make me to have a legitimate concern for them. Compassion, passion, everything. Wow. Raghunandan.
Raghunandan. Wow, thank you. Compassion. Yes, yes. Your name?
I'm Dilip Banerjee. I want to contribute after getting inspiration more to the society and to my environment surrounding.
And so what step do you want to begin now for yourself or for others? And it could be something practical. It doesn't have to just be a perspective, but what's something you'd like to do?
To associate myself social activities like cleaning the environment or to contribute as engineer to the renewable energy.
Great. So donate your time and energy over here. Over here. Yes. Come. And your name? Your name? Suparna, sorry.
Yeah, good evening. I'm Suparna Malhotra. I would like, just like as I have embraced meditation as a way of life for the last 1 year, thanks to Brahma Kumaris, I would like to spread Baba's knowledge and meditation to all the others in my community and the place that I live and the surroundings. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And yes, I didn't forget you. Your name?
Mansi. And what would you like to do? Yeah, I would like to change my disqualities into qualities. I want to convert all my weaknesses into strength. And the biggest difficulty that I'm facing is my self-respect. So I want to convert into respect for myself as well as for the others and make this society a beautiful one.
Wonderful. I can tell you've begun now. Yes, when we get a chance to voice. Yes, applause. Yes, all right. Yes, your name?
Amita. Yeah, I want to tell others that don't control others. Control your sanskara from here.
And what's the best way to do that? To tell others not to control others, but to start from here. So what's the best way?
The best way is to think positive, be happy in yourself. You will spread happiness and good wishes for others.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes. Your name, please?
I'm Renu Bansal, and I follow Baba's Gyan all the time. And I was told that we have the karmas theory. So because of that, we have to suffer sometimes, and that brings grief. So to bring down that grief in yourself, when you do selfless service.
Okay, so what would you personally like to do for yourself, for your community, or for others in the world?
Yeah, so what I'm doing is when I do selfless service, the happiness when I provide to others, that brings multifold happiness to myself too.
Okay, thank you. Great, great. And one over here, yes, sir. Please come. Your name?
Yeah, my name is Kamal, and my takeaway is that take a pause. And this was being, whenever we are going, we sometimes get into a loop of thinking something, but we should actually step back, take a pause, and then the rest of the time is very good. And the other thing is that giving positive vibrations to everyone in the environment, to the people. Sometimes people don't do good to you. Logically, you think that they are not doing good to you, and you feel that this is not right, this should not happen. But I think we need to help those souls.
Good, good, good. Thank you. Yes, and a pause will give you more power to do that, won't it? Thank you. And I just see this gentleman over here, and this is the last one. Sir, your name?
Gauri Shankar Dubey. Do good to others and good to self on earth, environment, and the sky as a whole universe.
Wow, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Well, we'll have a chance to share a little bit more. And now I'd like to invite a special speaker, someone who's actually made a difference in my life. And she came to the USA last year, and I didn't know much about Sister Shivani at all, really. And I had the great fortune of traveling with her when she was doing a tour in North America. And she took the time to reach out and get to know me. And I just thought that was so noble and respectful. And it just made me feel at ease, and I could be myself. And so I would like to welcome Sister Shivani onto the stage. You know her from the well-known TV program Awakening with the Brahma Kumaris, which screens in the USA, UK, Asia Pacific, Africa, Australia, and she travels extensively. Sister Shivani, thank you.
Om Shanti. We all have been showered with Sister Elizabeth's love last evening, this morning, and today. Most of you who watch the Awakening program would love the song Om Shanti Om, which comes at the end of the program, right? How many of you have heard this song, Om Shanti Om? She's the divine voice behind that song. And today, we have the fortune that we will be listening to that divine voice in that beautiful song today. So isn't that beautiful for all of us? Sometimes I meet young mothers who were watching Awakening when the soul was in the womb. And those little babies love the song Om Shanti Om. And I always tell Sister Elizabeth, you have no idea what fan following you have in India. You have even little babies who know you and understand you so well. Because when she sings, and that's what I feel about what we can do for the world. You know, I was listening to all of you saying, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Anything that we want to do is actually connected to the being that I am. Like, if we just look at Sister Elizabeth, she was a singer before she came to the Brahma Kumaris. She, of course, now takes care of our centers in San Francisco, but she also sings today. Now, the difference between singing before and singing now, what would be the difference? What will be the difference? The doing is the same. The doing is the same, singing. So the doing has not changed. But there's a big shift in her singing. Because what has changed? The being has changed. And so when we talk about doing, it's not so much really about doing. It's about the being. If we start working on the being, the doing will automatically change. Because I may be doing wonderful things for the world, but if I carry an energy of stress or jealousy, then my doing is flavored with that vibration. And when I start cleaning the being, the doing is the same. The doing could be as simple as cooking. The doing could be as simple as driving a car. But we see today how some of us drive the car because the being is stressed. And so like Brother Ken was sharing, that look at the way we drive on the road. We don't need to change the way we drive. We just need to change who we are. The driving will automatically change. So we really don't need to work so much on the doing. We need to work on the being. It's a beautiful title, The world is in transition. What transition do we think the world is in? Where is it shifting? Like we see the weather out today, it's in transition. Yes, it's in transition. So winter is coming to an end and spring is beginning. It doesn't happen in one day. It's a gradual transition. And as that gradual transition happens, we adapt ourselves for that transition in the weather. That's a transition which happens outside, and we adapt ourselves to that transition in the weather. But when it comes to the transition in the world, it's a transition which we are going to create. Which we are going to create. And so the knowledge that the Supreme Father reveals to all of us, which we have been hearing since yesterday. First, who am I? So he gives us knowledge about ourselves. Second, he gives us knowledge about who he is. And third, he gives us knowledge of the time. That the world is going to shift. And fourth, he uses us as his instruments to create that shift in the world. And so before we leave this evening, we need to raise our responsibility from not only simple things like being kind to people. Of course, it's a very beautiful gesture. But raise your responsibility whereby we decide that we are going to create a world where kindness is going to be the only way to be. There wouldn't be another way. So it's not just I will be kind to people, I will become instrumental in creating a world where kindness is the only way. Are you ready to take up responsibility to shift the world? Or is there already too much work to do? Are you ready to shift the world? Yes? How many are ready to shift the world? Good. And now do we know what we have to do to shift the world? We know what we have to do to shift the world. So Supreme Father, God, we call him by different names. We call him Baba. Baba means father, not a human being, but father for that incorporeal supreme power whom we called God, Ishwar, Allah, lot of titles. We call him Shiv Baba. He revealed to us the cycle of time. Just try and visualize it. If you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. But just try and visualize what he has revealed to us. And he said that you, the soul, when you came down on this planet for the first time, you, the soul, were 100% pure, 100% perfect. Sola kala sampurn, sampurn nirvikari, sarva gun sampan, 100% pure, 100% perfect. Your body, 100% perfect, healthy. Nature, perfect. Soul perfect, body perfect, nature perfect. Sarva gun sampan atma, nirogi kanchan kaya, sato pradhan prakriti. And we called our world Satyug, paradise, heaven. Try and look at it. How does it feel? Paradise, heaven, heaven on earth. And then he said, you left one costume, took the next one. Left that, took the next one. And gradually, the world shifted, a transition from Satyug to Treta Yuga. A little lesser than what we were in Satyug. A transition had happened. But yet, we were very close to perfection. And we still continued on the journey. Take a body, 100 years, leave the body. Next body, 100 years, leave the body. And after another 1,000, 1,200 years came another transition. And the world shifted to Dwapar Yuga, the Copper Age. By this time, the purity of the soul had started depleting. And it was the beginning of the first initial trace of ego, attachment, lust, greed, anger, and the list. Just the beginning. Only a slight shift in me, the pure soul, to having forgotten I'm a soul and getting attached to my body. And when this happened, pain, sorrow, suffering. And when that happened, we started looking for God. And we started building temples. We were calling Him to protect us, to heal us. And it is that Copper Age, Dwapar Yuga, where pure souls came from Param Dham into our world. Muhammad, Jesus Christ, Gautam Buddha, Mahavir, Shankaracharya, everybody gave only one message. God is one, God is energy, God is light, God is love. We are souls, brothers, family, united. Each one of us got connected to one teacher. Time passed. We went through another transition and we entered into Kali Yuga, where ego, anger, stress, anxiety, lust seem to be a natural way of living. And where have we reached today? Today we are not in Kali Yuga. Today we are in Ghor Kali Yuga. Yes? Pick up the newspaper every morning and every day has something new to say. And we say, how can someone do like this? How can people do like this? Where are we heading? Who will change the world? Hey Bhagwan, तेरी दुनिया ऐसी क्यों है? आता है ना मन में ऐसा? Yes? Yeah? Now can we see the cycle? Open your eyes. Can we see the cycle? Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. Soul in Satyug, battery 100% charge. Gradually, slight discharge, Treta Yuga, 50%, Dwapar Yuga. Come into Kali Yuga and end of Kali Yuga. How much battery left? How much battery left? No, not zero. It's not zero. You know, like those 4 lines on the mobile phone, fully charged, 4 lines, then 3 lines, 2 lines, 1 line. And now when there's 1 line left on the phone, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? We need to charge. So we have reached a stage where there's 1 line left on the phone. And we've reached a stage where the phone has started beeping, charge, 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 otherwise. Now, Satyug to Treta Yuga, transition. Treta Yuga to Dwapar Yuga, transition. Dwapar Yuga to Kali Yuga, transition. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Spring, summer, autumn, winter. What happens next? What happens next? Spring, summer, autumn, winter. So Satyug to Kali Yuga, and now what next? Now what next? Satyug. For those who are here for the first time, Please ask yourself a very simple question. The souls who were there in Satyug on this planet, battery 100% charged, and we went through that cycle, 100, 80, 50, 10, 5. The souls who were on this planet in Satyug when the battery was 100% charged, where are those souls today? Where are those souls today? Where are those souls today? Here means where? Means where? Can they raise their hands? Can they raise their hands, the souls who were in Satyug? Confident. Darna kya? Good. So now you know what we have to do for the world in transition. It cannot be something as simple as little things that we were talking about. It's a responsibility of charging myself from that 10% beep, beep, beep and take it to 100%. Ready? 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 And when we do that, automatically we are doing a lot for the world. When you do that, start charging yourself by daily studying what he is teaching us, by daily connecting to him, because battery ko charge karna hai to kya karna padega? We have to connect to the powerhouse. So if I need to take this inner battery from that 10% to 100%, I will need to connect to the powerhouse. How often? How often? Once in a month? Sunday? Every day. Okay. And actually right now, maybe many times in the day. You know, nowadays, it doesn't work if we charge the phone only in the morning. So what do we all carry with us? Power bank. Great. So now you carry that power bank with you every day. And there he is with us every day. And the minute I see my battery going a little, I said, 5 minute charge kar lete. So we start carrying that power bank with us everywhere, so that my battery remains charged. Because I have to be and work with people who are not taking care of their batteries. So when I'm working with a lot of discharged batteries, you connect a half-charged battery to a discharged battery, what will happen? What will happen? Our battery will also get discharged. So now we cannot afford to be on a 50% charge. We will need to be on a 100% charge. And when we start vibrating at that high frequency, we will not get pulled down to the frequency of the people around us, but we will pull them up to the frequency where we are. And that's the best gift you can do for anybody. There cannot be anything more kind than that you can do for people. Right? Yes? Seva. Seva. One is seva, giving money. One is seva, giving knowledge. One is seva, doing something for somebody. And one is seva, giving power to another soul for them to be able to empower themselves and uplift and get 100% charged. Cannot be a bigger seva than that. So the world is ready for a shift. And this time the transition will not be gradual, 100, 80, 50, 10. It's not going to go 10, 80, 100. No, it has to go direct 10 to 100. Cycle doesn't go Kalyug to Dwapar Yug to Treta Yug to Satyug. The cycle is going to go Kalyug to Satyug. So where are all those Sola Kala Sampurn divine souls sitting? Yeah? Yes? And that's why we shared yesterday, I am a divine soul. I am a Satyogi soul. Now when I walk out of this hall, the world outside is which yug? The world outside is which yug? Ghor Kalyug. And who am I? I'm not only a soul. I am a Satyogi soul. I am a Satyogi soul. So if somebody behaves with me in a Kalyugi way, I will be my Satyugi self. And that's how we will start vibrating that high frequency of Satyug everywhere that we are. And then, when you're doing that, remind yourself, you are contributing to shift the world. And there cannot be anything bigger than that. And why you are here today in Sirifort is not just for a conference, because we are not here just for a 1.5 day program, but we are here because He has selected us to be a part of transforming this world. आज दिन तक उसको अपने काम सुनाते आए थे, मेरा ये काम कर दो, मेरा ये काम कर दो, मेरा ये काम कर दो, बोला ना उसको. अभी वो आया, वो बोला मेरा छोटा सा ये काम कर दो. रेडी है करने के लिए? हाँ, रेडी है करने के लिए? He said, I only need to change the world from Kalyug to Satyug. Please help me in doing that. Because his children worldwide are crying. They are in pain. There's too much suffering. So he said, they are calling me to change this world. But he says, I cannot change the world without you. So sansar parivartan happens with sanskar parivartan. So God gives us the gyan, the love, the power to change our sanskar. And when we change our sansar will change. So we have all been selected to change the world. Congratulations on your new admission. Yes, you've just got admission into this beautiful, beautiful family who has taken up the responsibility of changing the world only by doing a simple thing, changing themselves. So when we change, the world changes. So when we walk out of this hall, please remember, I am a Satyugi soul. My every thought, Satyugi. My every word, Satyugi. My every behavior, Satyugi. My world changes here. First my world changes here, then my family changes, then where I work changes, and gradually the world changes. And there I am, selected instrument. 16 कला संपूर्ण सत्युगी दिव्य आत्मा हूँ मैं. और उसके लिए क्या करना है? So the program doesn't end today. The admission has ended today. And now starts the actual course. So from tomorrow, we will start studying that knowledge of how we are going to become that 16 kala sampurna. 100% pure. So what we promise ourselves today is, from today I give 1 hour to myself every day. Let's see the number of hands of the Devi Devtas going up. Yes. 1 hour to myself every day to charge this battery. And we will come to the Brahma Kumaris centers where there's a family who has already started working on themselves and start studying his Gyan daily and meditating daily. 1 hour, charge your battery. The rest of the day, you become instruments to charge your children, your family, your colleagues, and everybody around you, and charge the world. So 1 hour, charge your phone, and rest of the day, tell them, you want my phone? You want my phone? I am here. You want my power? I'm here to give it to you. And then we will really become those divine souls whom people would like to come and meet and just be in your presence for 30 seconds and say, now I'm feeling very peaceful, contented after meeting you. Like we stand in the temple in those long queues. Darshan of how much time? Darshan of divine souls for how much time? 10 seconds. And we come out of that 10 seconds and we say, kitna acha darshan hua. Hota hai na acha darshan? So similarly, people who come to meet us should feel that purity and that contentment, and they will say, kitna acha darshan hua. So Paramatma says, कि सिर्फ दर्शन नहीं करना है, दर्शनीय मूर्त बन जाना है, कि वैसा बन जाना है जिसका सब दर्शन करना चाहते हैं. रेडी? रेडी? तो उसके लिए बहुत सिंपल है. ओनली आई प्रॉमिस माई सेल्फ 1 hour फ्रॉम टुडे टू बिगिन स्टडिंग. The rest is for the parent and the teacher to take charge, and he will create miracles using us. Come, let's sit for a minute in silence and visualize our Satyogi world.
So we have an opportunity to charge our batteries together, and I'd like to invite Asha Didi onto the stage and Brother Brijmohan ji to join us on the stage, and 2 foreign guests, Sister Jussara from Sahanegra Retreat Center in Brazil. Please join us. And Brother Diego, he's a national coordinator of Panama. Please join. So we're getting ready to invoke our powerful selves, and we have these experienced yogis with us on the stage. And so if you could sit straight in your seat, maybe stretch your leg a bit, and prepare to take a journey. Om Shanti. We'll begin the meditation now.
As I sit here, I become aware of I, the inner being. I, the soul. The energy of light. I, the light, the inner being that gives life to this body. And as I concentrate on myself, the inner being of light, I move back into the experience of the original nature of I, the inner being, the inner light. One by one, the layers of culture, nationality, roles, possessions, melt away, and I re-enter my original nature of peace and love. As I re-enter this nature of love and peace, vibrations of light and love spread out. They fill the room. Begin to sense that we as lights, pure energies, are all connected. There are no boundaries. We are all one. And I look out through my eyes at the world in the deep sense of being totally connected, one. And in that state, I feel that originally all souls are brothers and sisters, and our parent is one, the Supreme Light. And I connect to that Supreme Light and charge the light of I, the soul, the inner being. And I spread light out to my world and my world family. That we may all return back to our highest state. And that is part of returning to this state. We care for our world. We treat Mother Nature, her water, her earth, all of her valuable resources with love and respect. And we fill her atmosphere with thoughts of love and compassion. And I know this evening back to my life. I walk with the awareness of my highest potential, the inner being of light, connected to the Supreme Light, free from the limits, free from any boundaries, and treating Mother Nature and her resources with love and respect. Om Shanti. Om Shanti, 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 I'm a peaceful soul. Om Shanti, I'm a peaceful soul. बड़ा है सुख कर ये मंत्र मनहार. Om Shanti, ये ध्वनि मंगल ध्वनि है. Om Shanti, everyone. Om Shanti, I'm a peaceful soul. Om Shanti, I'm a peaceful soul. I'll sing out the sound Om Shanti
Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Sing Om Shanti, burn negativity in the fire of God's love. In the fire of God's love. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti ki shakti se patthar bhi hota moom. The power of Om Shanti can melt the hardest stone. Go. Om Shanti Om. I'm a peaceful soul. Om Shanti Om. I'm a peaceful soul. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
In a very Satyugi way, I think we all should stand and give a standing ovation to all our brothers and sisters who've come from all over the world to give us this divine experience on this weekend. Sister Elizabeth.
And I'd like to invite our chief to come out. And Brijmohan Bhai will give her flowers. Our chief has been part of the design team for this program this evening. And then I'd like to invite Katia to come out. She's the stage manager. Katia's from Brazil. And our chief from Bahrain. And I'd like to invite now Andre to come out. I'd like to invite now Hersha to come out from USA. Hersha looked after all the amazing... Andre looked after all the sound and lights for this evening. He is from Australia, and now I'd like to invite Hersha to come out. Hersha's from America. He looked after all the audio-visual. And now, I would like to invite Alex to come out. He looked after all the wonderful music. And on behalf of the stagehands, I'd like to invite Robert to come out. Robert is from Poland. And we wish you all a magical evening and a very, very good night. Thank you, and travel light. And we'd also like to thank finally the mascots.
And do we all invite them to be with us again next year for a similar magical experience? Yeah? हाँ? तो हम ये नहीं कहते कि वो आज जा रहे हैं, हम कहते हैं कि वो बहुत जल्दी वापस आने वाले हैं. तो एक हाथ की ताली से उनको वापस बुलाएंगे. Thank you so much. And we leave the hall and go home in a Satyogi way. Silence and angels helping others to move ahead, driving home in a Satyogi way because our Satyug has begun. The transition has begun. And from tomorrow morning, we promise ourselves that 1 hour to charge the soul with Gyan and with meditation.
Please accept Toli and blessings outside as you exit.
We all have the fortune of having a very, very beautiful retreat center on the outskirts of Delhi. It's called Om Shanti Retreat Center at Manesar. It's a home away from home, but it's a home which has selfless love, powerful vibrations of years of meditation, and a beautiful family who's always available to serve us. Every weekend, there are retreats for families to learn meditation at the retreat center. So when you connect to the center nearest to you, then they will bring you to the Manesar Retreat Center. And it's also a retreat center where we do regular workshops for corporate houses, PSUs, colleges, social organizations. So collectively, to bring about that change in the world, we have the Om Shanti Retreat Center. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
The voice of a mother and a father and a child. Would you recognize the truth? Do you